Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Mama King. I am the Divine Oracle. So I started out with a spread here. Okay. We're getting a sacred dark goddess mother energy. And then I've been guided to read this selection in the Great Cosmic Mother, which I also do have a playlist for. So this is in the playlist, but I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this spread or not. But we'll go ahead and read this selection. Okay. It's related to the spread, the cards I have out. Maybe I'll tap into them when I'm finished. We'll see. So this selection is on page 124 of the Great Cosmic Mother, Rediscovering the Religion of the Earth. It's entitled Earth, Spirit, Serpent, Spirals, and Blind Springs. So, to all ancient people, the earth was alive, a great animal inhabited by a life spirit or soul substance. All phenomenon were manifestations of this divine force, and after death all forms returned to this source before passing into another animate existence. The earth spirit was the central transformer of all life energies into the multiplicity of life forms, all protoplasmically connected with each other as in the same body, the same imagination. In the Gaia hypothesis, Earth is defined as a living, breathing, and co-responding body, creating its own atmosphere, filling its own needs, relieving its own stresses. Far from the patriarchal, mechanical model of Earth as a merely passive receiver of stimuli from the sun and sky. This new model shows us an intentional organism, exhibiting will and direction, and quite capable of reciprocal relations with all its creatures. In the pattern of the past, Guy Underwood tells of his wanderings around Britain in search of ancient roads, animal tracks, stone circles, and other megalithic sites. Underwood, a water dowser, describes the earth force like a magnetic current emitted by underground waters in motion and under pressure. This force is affected by the movements of the stars, the moon, and the sun. In turn, it has great penetrative powers and affects the nerve cells of animals and humans. Modern Western science has not yet begun to study this force, but the Russians seem to be on its track, particularly in their studies of water divining. Generated within the earth, this force causes wave motions perpendicular to the earth's surface. It forms spiral patterns, also mazes and labyrinths, and the spiral coils are based on multiples of 7. When manifested in spiral forms, it was seen as a catalyst with the construction of matter and with the generative powers of nature. It was part of the mechanism by which what we call life comes into being. She, the joyous spiral. What Underwood calls primary lines, water lines, aquastats, and track lines were in ancient times considered healing and holy. They have remained stationary since time immemorial. Along the, among the Celts, is that how you pronounce it? Ellen Helena, the goddess of the ancient tracks, were considered the first and oldest of all deities. Animals follow these tracks and use them to find suitable places to sleep and give birth. Migrations of birds and fish also follow these geodetic magnetic lines, finding their way instinctively over vast distances. Most ancient roads were aligned with these irregular and winding animal paths among the underground force lines. Another system of forces contracts and expands daily, making the earth a breathing animal indeed. Underwood found that some of these secondary lines, along with the geospirals, reverse their positions at each phase of the moon every fortnight. The ancient calendar was lunar, and among the Celts, the Celts, the Celts. The months commenced on the sixth day after the first new moon, while the year began on the sixth day after the first new moon following the vernal equinox. Each month was divided into two fortnightly periods. It would seem that the Celtic calendar was based upon the phenomena of fluctuation in secondary lines, since this provided an exact time once every fortnight in relation to which dates and times for rituals and religious observations could then be fixed. The spiraling force forms an energetic network all over the Earth's surface, affecting the germination and growth of trees and plants, as well as animals. Here is the practical side of goddess mythology and symbolism. The moon, spirals, earth, water, all related to the right time to plant different kinds of seeds according to the moon's phases. Further, the magic, each current is known as the serpent. Uh, The magic earth current is known as the serpent force, or in China, the dragon current. Raising the serpent force is a common and ancient rite among Native Americans, Hindus, Asians, Africans, and the Celts of pagan Europe. These sacred serpentine paths were followed instinctively by the first nomadic tribes. Australian Aborigines make ritual journeys along these current paths in the steps of the gods who created the original divine landscape. They believe that each place the gods stopped became a manifest reality, a spiral center of energy. The dragon, the serpent on legs, was everywhere associated with creation and life giving. As Underwood says, the serpent is the one land living vertebrate which naturally and frequently reproduces all the geodetic um, I hope I'm saying that right, geotic spiral patterns, and so it seems responsible or it seems reasonable to assume that both the serpent and the spiral are representations of the geodetic geotic spiral. Geotic, yeah, the geodetic spiral. And serpents, let's see. The serpent is the one a land living vertebrate which naturally and frequently reproduces all the geodetic spiral patterns, and so it seems reasonable to assume that both the serpent and the spiral are representations of the geodetic spiral. And serpents and spirals were also associated with the goddess. Oh, wow. Okay. Elethea, Cretan goddess of childbirth, was also accompanied by snakes. The umbilical cord is itself a serpentine connection between the mother and new life. The mythic relation between serpents and earth water is also ancient. Sacred pools and underground springs were also legendarily guarded by magic snakes. A blind spring is a spot from which a number of underground streams flow, forming a radiating pattern of energy. Underwood noted that cows will break out of a field to reach a blind spring and give birth to their young ones. This is true of all animal mothers. Perhaps the spiral energy patterns found over blind springs can ease labor and produce healthier offspring. Doubtless, ancient women also sought out the blind spring as a place for childbirth, according to Eric Newman in The Great Mother. The earliest sacred precinct of the primordial age was probably that in which the woman gave birth. It is a place where the great goddess rules and from which, as still in later feminine or female mysteries, all males are excluded. Not only is the place of childbirth a sacred place in female life, in early cultures, obviously, it also stands at the center of all cults that are dedicated to the Great Mother as the goddess of fertility. The mysterious occurrence of menstruation and pregnancy and the dangerous episode of childbearing make it necessary for the inexperienced woman to be initiated by those who are informed in the matters. This precinct is the natural, social, and psychological center of the female group, ruled over by the older, experienced women. The blind spring was the esoteric center of the old religion, as well as being the physical center of its monuments. It was the holy healing ground, a place of harmonious power where the goddess dwelt. Blind springs were to be found at the center of every prehistoric temple, as well as every medieval church in Britain and Europe, according to Underwood. So gates of cities and temples were also set over blind springs, giving divine protection to those entering and leaving. Holy, healing, and oracle. That's my word. Wow, that was all off. Oracular. Said it. Holy, healing, and oracular wells were sunk on blind springs, and the most ancient cities of the Near East, such as Jericho and Katal Huyuk, were built over such sacred wells. So the subterranean well water was medicinal for a short season each year when the animated spirit traveled through it like an electrical current. Stones placed nearby probably served as storage batteries for its magnetic energies. The ancient idea of divine protective sanctity was expressed by encirclement. Monuments were enclosed by protective underground spirals, mirrored above ground in the foundation maze or labyrinth. All burial places were surrounded by underground streams. In mythology and fairy tale, all magic castles are surrounded by a circular moat or a rushing stream, and no magic rite can safely occur unless first a protective circle is drawn around it and the participants. There is a general association of important prehistoric sites, geodetic, ge, that's it, I don't know, geodetic lines, and underground water. Guy Underwood was a water diviner. This art, along with geodesy, measurement of the Earth's surface, was geodesy. Oh gosh, was part of the training of Celtic Druids. It was also practiced by the Scythian Inaris, who were legendary hermaphrodites. They wore women's clothes and received their gifts of divination from Aphrodite. The Druids prophesied, this is interesting. The Druids prophesied with the aid of willow wands, a tree sacred to the moon goddess. The Inaris was with a wand, the Inaris with a wand made from yew or mountain ash, trees sacred to the death goddess. Both willow and yew are used in water divining. So John Mitchell in The Earth Spirit theorizes that a stream of life-giving magnetic current passes through the land once a year, following certain paths. The season determined by positions of the stars. Legendarily, this super energy transit was described as the god passing through. Sacred calendars related to local topography and myths and customs were based on a once unified system of awareness of the pathways of the earth spirit. Worldwide, the sacred energy pathways were marked by some human means: mounds, banks, ditches, dolmens, menhirs, and stone crosses, stone circles, terraces, and roads. In some places, the energy circuits were known as fairy paths. Rows of psychic activity and local peasant celebrations were timed to coincide with the current's passage. Processional and holy ways were located along raised serpent paths. Stone avenues representing the serpent led up to a Stonehenge, which is an ancient temple of the moon and the serpent, as Mitchell describes it. The mercurial earth current glides toward it like a serpent toward an egg, moving through the earth's um, crust. All stones in such monuments are believed to have strong healing powers, the rocks and boulders acting as vessels of the vital spirit. In all ceremonies, the goddess was seen to approach her shrine by a particular route. She both followed and made the energy path. Once she was accompanied by her nomadic celebrants with permanent settlements and agriculture. These sacred journeys were limited, uh, no, were imitated in religious processions. All these ceremonies were intended to energize and harmonize the people, as together they follow the path of the earth's magic life flow. And this is the real difference between ancient science and modern. Modern technologies tend to cut across the lines of the earth force, arbitrarily and unconsciously separating human activities from the energy radiations of the earth. And so setting humans and earth against each other in a force field of antagonistic vibrations. Wow. So the old science and technology found ways to locate and tap the Earth's natural force flow, integrating human and Earth energies through ritual in a strong, harmonious field. Okay. We have some pictures from Ireland here. If you have the book, you can view those. Corn Mother. Oh, wow. Interesting. So let's see. Okay, so the final page here, celebrating ancient Celtic wells. Okay, 1984. This is art pieces here. So the operating principle of the ancient beliefs was the analogy between macrocosm and microcosm. What was true of the earth body was also true of the bodies of all creatures on earth. And so, as above, so below. That's my part. And so, analogous with the ancient science of geomancy, is another ancient technique, acupuncture. I got it. That made sense, at least to me. Okay. As Mitchell writes, Chinese acupuncture treats the body by regulating the currents of vital energy that flow through the skin, as the geomancer treats the body of the earth. Kirlian photography has shown us that all the ancient acupuncture joint points are identical with points of great energy explosion on the skin's surface. We will find ways to take Kirlian photos of the whole body, of the whole earth body and the globe's etheric body, and perhaps learn again to follow the energy charged serpent path to the benefit of all life. It is cosmos to those who know the way, and chaos to those who lose it. That was beautiful. All right, so we're going to go ahead with the reading since we got that out the way. So you could be reflecting on spirituality and how it relates to the practical earth energy. Okay, I had a question in my comments the other day about some helping to describe a soulmate. I think this was just described to me. Connection, resonance on a deeper level than the surface, something more deeper. Everything's deeper. Spirituality, soulmate energy is not necessarily speaking about some sort of romantic relationship. You can be soulmate partners even with your mother, your friends, relatives, brothers, sisters, siblings. It's someone, people, or a group, even a purpose that resonates for much further than the surface level. Something deeper than, there's a connection, there's a soul resonance, no matter what the outside may look like, okay? Or what the relationship may look like. I did have pull the Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, honoring your emotions. You can check your Black Moon Lilith placement. I'll just do a little tarot here. We'll use the body tarot to tap into this mystic haven, the enchantment, the esoteric magic, intrigue, and hidden wisdom. Okay, someone could be questioning this energy, getting some information, deep diving, making connections. Okay, it's good to see reflection. Possibly someone could be chasing a relationship. I don't know. This could be some toxic energy or being resilient, coming back from a toxic relationship. Okay. Then somebody could be diving or they're checking into some research, returning to, this could be a place on earth that you were born, where you were born, or even back to your soul tribe, okay, in pursuit of goals, belief in the possibilities, as above, so below. Who's the mystic haven here? It's a Six of Pentacles, generosity, Six of Earth, I'm sorry, for the body tarot. Some generosity here, some even give and take, some reflecting on a mystical journey, or you could be a mystic, okay? You could be connected here with hidden wisdom, high priest or high priestess energy. Let me put this up here so I can see this. And what is the Six of Earth? Oh, Seven of Fire. So there's a fight. Or you could be fighting for something to be balanced. You could be fighting for something to be made right. Nine of Wands that's the Seven of Fire. This could represent some sort of resilience. What about the reflecting? Reflecting, please. Somebody's reflecting possibly on a past relationship, a past commitment. Interesting. I didn't want to throw that in and make that go in reverse. So we do have a windfall, Three of Metal. Windfall. What's a windfall? Reflecting on a blessing from heaven, some hidden wisdom. Okay. Maybe something has given you insight to some sort of stagnation or some sort of fight stagnation. Four of water in the ear, lovers energy, Gemini energy, reflecting on the commitment of relationship. Emperor in reverse, someone who could be stubborn, stuck in the mind, unable to change some sort of thoughts. Maybe somebody's learning something new. Like I said, what about chasing a pursuit or being resilient? Now we have a sacrifice in reverse, the liver. So the liver detoxes. Is that right? So detox energy. So something needs to be detoxed or let go of, sacrificed. Someone could be sacrificing a toxic relationship. What's the hangman in reverse? There's someone could be learning to trust someone, or they need to learn to trust someone. Trust and a commitment. This is kind of deep. Okay, as above, so below. Somebody could be connecting to their soul tribe and energy. Commitment, please. Maybe somebody's deciding to commit to their own healing of grief. Okay, five of water in reverse. What's the library? Book collection, reading, researching. Someone could be very smart, intelligent, spend time in the library, setting themselves free with the seven of wood. That would be like the seven of pentacles, I would assume, in the tarot, the regular tarot. Someone could be losing a lot of energy, or this could be an ego, processing their ego here. Someone could be sacrificing their ego here. I don't know. Birthplace of dreams, returning, four of earth, but we got greed in the upright. This also could be some sort of control, or somebody's trying to control or gain some sort of control or have some sort of expectation of control. This could be self-control. What's the four of earth? Five of earth. Five of wood. Pettiness. Someone's being petty about their goals, or I don't know, somebody's trying to let down their guard. Now the emperor's in the upright. Someone could be no longer irritated. Maybe somebody is healing. Okay, the high priest is in the upright. Okay. Once again, let's get some true intentions. What is this emperor here? The brain. Like I said, someone's very intelligent, or what could be motivated by some knowledge or getting some sort of knowledge. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to apply it. Somebody could just want to get some knowledge to continue to chase some sort of toxicity. I don't know. Let's see. Can we please make plans to get together soon? Okay, with this birthplace of dreams, returning home, somebody needs to tell you something, get something off their chest. They want to vent. Look at have something going on here in their career, or they're concentrating on their career, trying to get focused, doing research. Or they are focused on advancing. You could be focused on advancing. Someone loves you. They only want happiness. They only want to add happiness to your life. They may not be clear about their own intentions right now. They could be still trying to figure something out. Maybe that's why we got the Emperor in reverse also. You could be a mystic, okay, high priestess energy who has some sort of information, or someone may want to, I don't know, they could be using your energy to reflect something or gain some sort of control. Like I said, I feel like someone's opening up, or they could be learning. This could be you, Mystic Haven, obligation. Someone may feel like you're a nuisance, or you feel like someone is a nuisance. What's the reflecting energy? Unfriendly. Maybe you're friendly, unfriendly. So there's some sort of, mm, you could be reflecting some sort of, making someone see some sort of health issue they have. Why is it unfriendly? Reflecting on some sort of unfriendliness, or you could have reflected something about someone that they needed to change. Okay, maybe they were seeing that, making a decision to separate possibly from a relationship. Somebody's got welcoming somebody may feel like you have a very safe space, or they're able to, I feel like somebody is trying to heal something. Why do I keep getting this greed energy? I hope it's not just about money or wealth and power. That could be going on, or this is something someone needs to release. If somebody's trying to come to you or chase you, it could be some sort of toxicity here with the chasing energy. What's chasing? And also the fight. We got a little fire here, but someone could just be trying to transform this energy. I don't want to accuse anybody of doing anything. It could be really trying to release a lot of anger here. You're very someone who naturally deals with situations or energy. So even if someone is throwing some negativity or they've got something hidden underneath that they subconsciously are projecting towards you, I feel like you have their trust, or you can trust the universe to protect you or whatever protection you put in place. What's the library? Yeah, so you don't have to worry here. Wow. Library energy. So something's not transforming, or there's a lack of transformation in some sort of knowledge or vision, or someone hasn't applied knowledge to their vision yet, or maybe they're trying to, or they will be. Now, I got the kitchen here. Kitchen, if you work in a kitchen, if you create recipes, your own recipes, whatever, kitchen work is also, it could be magic. It could you be someone who alchemy, okay, alchemist. Also, if you're just talking about food, what's the kitchen? Cooking. Someone could be a great cook, or they like to cook, or spend a lot of time in the kitchen. There's a release of fear. Maybe this is something you're guided to do. Maybe somebody works in the kitchen. They could be tired of working. Okay. They could be worried about manifesting some sort of dead energy. You do have to do things naturally if you intend to be genuine about your recovery. Okay, I'm talking to anybody who may be listening, okay, um, at any point in their ascension. Okay, I don't know if somebody feels like they can't get any help or they're looking for some sort of help. Help is on the way, but it's in reverse. Someone lacks courage and strength to do things in a natural way or to release their anger, or who somebody doesn't want to listen, or somebody's afraid to fail. Hopefully somebody's releasing ego energy, because you got to let that go. I'm gonna tap into the Black Moon, Lilith, and Cancer here. Honor your emotions. We have Six of Wands. This also could represent ego. Somebody, maybe this also could be success. So failure in reverse could be success. I don't know what I said, but I don't know what I was thinking. Six of Wands, Nine of Wands. So this could be a temptation, or temptation to take action. It could be inspiration to take action. Page of Swords is in the upright. So that could be definitely curiosity or trying to find out something. I don't know though. It feels like there could be some sort of greed, or somebody wanted to control, because this Six of Wands, Nine of Wands could also represent that. Somebody's taking some action to maybe put down their guard, or get you to put down their guard. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords. So earth and air energy. Knight of Swords is in reverse. Somebody's lying about their manifestation or their power, or they just don't believe in themselves. Maybe due to greed, or they're just focused on material things. Six of Cups in the upright. That's fire and water. I'm getting some balancing energy. Higher collective, this is you. This balancing energy. There's someone in your energy who may need some sort of assistance, or need you to listen to them about a relationship. Maybe you offer them empathy, a safe space to open up. There could be somebody, I'm just kind of understand what the greed and unfriendly energy is about. What's the greed and unfriendly energy about? That Magician. Okay, it's in the upright. Okay, and then the Four of Cups. I'm sorry, the Five of Cups. Somebody regrets some sort of communication, or somebody regrets some sort of download or information they received. The Three of Swords is in reverse now. Maybe somebody's just afraid they won't succeed at healing a situation. Okay. Don't be afraid. You gotta step forward. Fear does nothing for you. It should motivate you to move forward, but we'll see. Hone in on your sanctuary, your comfort zone. Just create the nurturing environment that you deserve. So this is some shadow work here with Black Moon Lilith and Cancer, honoring your emotions with the divine feminine, dark divine feminine, which we brought up in the reading, okay, of the great cosmic mother, and what has been suppressed, or what has been suppressed in today's modern religion, okay, today's Christian church, Catholic church, all the same. Okay? Nothing's changed but the date on the calendar. Traditions exist only because one person started them. Sometimes being the catalyst for change isn't the most comfortable, but you are bringing healing to your family line. So visualize sending love to your child self, closing an old wound with dark defined feminine energy. And I'm talking about a man or a woman. That's the energy that you heal your emotions when you do the shadow work, whether you're a man or a woman, because we have to heal both sides of us. We come from a man and a woman. Okay. Dark divine masculine shadow work. Your mother is the first relationship you have with a woman. So taking the time to understand your dynamic with her can unlock any blocks that you're experiencing with the divine feminine. Okay. You got to take the time to do the work if y'all expect to move forward and to heal these relationship issues. Okay. The ones that get taken too far, where there's too much energy, too much action. It's time to pull back and just reflect for real. Whether you use spirituality, tarot, you pull your own cards, you are intuitive. So sometimes you do need an outside voice that you trust just to make sure you're in the right, you're being practical about what you're thinking and what may be going on here. Don't be so quick to rush and take action on relationships, particularly if you really do care. Okay. It's just a matter of reflection. I can't say it enough. It's just what it is. No other way to break it down. It's real simple if you stop and think about it. But people want to rush, they want to control everything, and they feel like they may be running out of time trying to get to this and get to that. But what's meant for you is going to be for you. There's no need to chase. You're going to chase anything, chase peace. The peace will find you. Okay. So will trouble, I suppose. Remember, what you focus on, that's what you draw to you. You got to be clear. You got somebody, look, emotional empath and warrior energy. As above, so below. As within, so without. One more, please. 3311, when I looked at that perfectionist, that could be the issue. That control, perfectionist, what others may pay. You may still has come from an energy of people pleasing, religious structure energy that has to be transformed. You got to look at that in a different way. You can use those values that you've learned. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but you need to internalize them and maybe use it for your own guidance and let go a little bit and let others be who they are because they didn't come from the same structure that you may have come from. Emotional empath, highly sensitive individuals who have a keen ability to sense what people around them are thinking and feeling. This could be you. Tapping into the energy over here, you're definitely going to be that way, or this is what you're going to pick up on in this reading and with my energy. Just reflecting back who my people are, or who are watching here. Soul tribe energy, soulmate energy, warrior, the ability and strength to overcome challenges to achieve his or her goals and dreams. That's what I feel like somebody's trying to do. I hope you make it. Don't give up. Okay. I hope you get what you're looking for at this time. Yeah, I just hope someone's really truly trying for the right reasons. And they're using spirituality in these free readings to really gain some sort of, it could be upper hands. Okay, you could look at it that way, but not to control others, only to control your own path. Okay, perfectionist, the gifts of an analytical mind and strong pattern recognition, skills, extensively high standards on themselves and others. Just like what I was saying here. I feel like somebody's very intelligent, but those are just for you. That's your own standard for yourself. I mean, you can use it to, kind of guide what you expect from others, or, to get those to match up with who you may resonate with. But like I said, you cannot control the way other people view things or even their perspective. It takes time. You can try to persuade others, but you just got to be yourself. You just got to make sure that you know your own energy and that you walk in your own energy. And people follow if they want, and if they don't, then they can leave you alone. You can go about your business. The universe is here to heal and protect you. Surrender and know it's working for your highest good. Yeah, and I was just I read this in the book. Okay, I read this first, and then I picked it up in my Great Cosmic Mother. So it definitely it repeats the same thing. Okay, scholars have argued that the church's denial that the Virgin Mary is indeed black was the religious patriarchy's way of painting the Dark Mother creation in a subservient and pure light. I don't know. Someone could, yeah, the view of the dark, the feminine, whether you're a man or a woman, the dark, divine feminine is been distorted. So we're gonna come up out of that energy. We're gonna get it together. Y'all stay blessed and grounded, and I'm gonna see you later. Bye bye.